Hey there! Welcome back to the Paragon series. I am Muggsey, and this is Vector Blue. And Vector is about to help me go on a metal farming trip down here because we need to get some metal smelted up so we've got tool repair resources, right? So, in the last episode we left off, we had just tamed Vector and given a send off to our fallen dinos, right? So, at this point, we've got some engrams to spend. There's so many things I do want to pick up, but we're going to need stone pipes, but we need the dinosaur gate here. And then we'll pick up stone pipe, but that'll probably be next episode before we actually start running for water up the hill, and then crops and beer barrel and all that. But I want to get the dino gate. Now, I like this right here, but we don't need it yet, you know? Right now, we just need some essentials, so let's do the stone triangle ceiling, and I'll show you why I like having that. Stone stairs, that auto-learns the ceiling, fence foundation, pillar, and then the dinosaur gate and gateway. That is a good start. Now, what we left off saying is that this episode we are going to be getting at this base at least perimetered in. And then hopefully by next episode we are going to actually turn the base, which is currently just a box, we're going to turn that into an actual tool that we can start using with some amenities that makes sense, and it's going to be a fun build in the next episode. But this episode I'm going to focus on getting directional gateways up and then the spike wall perimeter. But to start off, here we are. I need to get some metal. We have obviously not made it to Anki or Doed yet. Those are coming very soon because we're going to need it once we start upgrading the base to have those basic farming dinos. At least some lower level versions to keep around here, because remember, this is our kind of our starter base area. We will one day move to a more permanent base location, probably well, sometime in the future, because we're going to be here for quite some time while we're still in the need of constant narcotics production and such, because it's just not a better place I've ever found for ease of narcotics, which will be another part of this episode, in that we are going to do a speed leveling run, and we'll get to that towards the end of the episode. But first, pop goes the weasel. I hate these things. And I love them. Obviously, we have our own, but I only love the ones that I have. The wild ones can kiss a butt. So, yeah, we're going to be going around just hand-picking these river rocks and then the gray shale rocks, what I call shale rocks. Some people call them gravel. I don't know what you call them. The flat gray rocks on the ground. And this is our primary means of accumulating metal in terms of a hand gathering resource at this point. And so it's kind of a good thing that we're located where we are. So, you know, among the many reasons that I like South 1. South 2 is just as good, but if we take a look real quick here at the map, I'll show you what we mean. So, looking at the map of the Tiger's Paw, this is where we're located. You've got your spawn point down there, and if this is the Tiger's Paw in relief, and this is our base location, we have river rock clusters right up here, up the inlet on either side, and then the causeway where we're actually working right now. And then going further up and around the lagoon, to the east towards the causeway leading to the swamp, significant clusters there. Also on the southern point, and then up to the shallows area around the quarry. Collectively, were you to make a full pass, this is enough to make anywhere from 80 to about 150 metal ingots, or anywhere from 160 to 300 raw metal. Add to this the fact that the entire area is blanketed in the shale rock or gravel rock that we've been talking about. You're just not going to run out of metal here on the Tiger's Paw until maybe you get to the point at end game where you're just needing thousands and thousands of metal, at which point you're going to have a refinery on the volcano or one of the other mountains anyway. Until that time, this place is littered and it's fantastic, and it's why we find ourselves here doing just chopping blocks. Now, anyway, guys, yeah, I just tend to go up and down. Honestly, just this the inlet and the lagoon area, maybe over to our east, but generally speaking, it's enough just to do this for earlier game to mid game. You know, oh, oh god, did you guys see that? Houston, I think we have a problem. Alright guys, so if we thought the Chalicotherium getting into our base area was bad, we have a real problem now. That is a Therizinosaur, otherwise known as the tickle chicken. Although it doesn't tickle you, it absolutely wrecks your face. So I am... okay, well, you're going to get to see this happen in real time. I am going to have to basically get naked because this is effectively going to be a suicide run. Because I don't know. I'll have some bragging rights if I pull this off, but I pretty much always die when I try to kite a Theri. But we cannot leave a Therizino untended in what looks like a beeline for our base, because we have still not gotten the walls up. We're getting there. I mean, we just started, you know. But the Therizinosaur is technically an herbivore that is highly territorial in terms that, you know, if you get within about 10 paces of it, it goes crazy, turns into a demon, and starts going all Cassius Clay on you. And yeah, that thing is definitely making its way over. I wish they didn't code it like this, but it's going straight. So I can't outrun it. I got to, I don't have, but I think I've got 1 point in speed right now. It will catch up to me and rip me to pieces. So I need a bow, which I left a bow on Vector, but we're going to get another bow. Now hopefully I can shoot it from a long enough distance that I will then get it far enough up the hill to not be a worry. Because there isn't going to be no killing of this thing involved here. They're a lot like Rexes. They're basically the herbivore version of a Rex. In fact, if you didn't know, one of the tactics for killing the dragon boss is to use Therizino, because they can make use of the sweet veggie cakes. But in terms of their damage output potential, they can match Rexes. Not as much upfront damage, but they swat so fast. Okay, we're going to miss. Miss. That should have hit it. Run! Run! Oh man. Oh, I hope I had enough distance. Oh, I heard. Did you hear the footsteps? Oh my goodness. Wait, oh, she is definitely still after me. And closing. She should have just lost aggro. The music is gone. I'm not stopping. I'm not stopping. You can't stop me. She lost aggro. I did that. First try. Arc Masters. Well, that went way better than expected. So, yeah, there's a Therizinosaur. I have no idea what level it was. I was expecting to die so I could find out. If it was under a level 50, I was going to berry tame it just for fun. We'll find out later. Today, we have more metal farming to do, so I am going to get back down here and... Oh, legendary. Okay, no Therazinos today. We're going to get down here. I'm going to make my metal rounds, and then we are going to... Since we now have access to just about everything we need, I'm going to take the trike and some bodyguards. We're going to go to the swamp, get some rare flowers and mushrooms, and we are taming us some mows today. But I am not getting distracted. We are going to get our perimeter up first, so I'm going to finish going around this, and we'll see you back at base when we're ready to build. Alright, we're back. It's morning time, and the metal is smelting. So to get this started, we need a couple wooden spike walls. It's going to be more than a couple, but I want to get the first, or the primary gate here, which means we need some wood and stone. Now, dino gates, behemoth gates, they don't actually need foundations. They will snap right to the ground at any place that you put them. So the trick here, though, is I want to get the spacing right, because I want this to space out right between these two big trees. And the camera is being awkward because of the hill. So bear with me. K mode. Let's see here. 1, 2. Oop. Okay. Try again. And just a little bit back. So the edge of this, the deck that we have now is not actually the full edge. I'm going to be building it out more. So if we line it up there, that should work out just right. And yeah, alright. So I'm going to go farm this little bit of stuff for this gate. We'll get this main entrance done, and then we will progress. I think we're going to probably need close to 20 or 25 walls and a total of about 4 gates. So anyway, let's get the first section done, and you'll have more of an idea of what I'm doing. And then we'll be right back. Okay, so we have the gate and the gateway. You know, guys, I probably really should have done this much sooner, because this is... The wooden variety of this is not that expensive to build. It's very easy to do this by hand. And I don't know, I just wanted to jump right into the taming, but use me as an example here. Hey, you can just jump in and get your base secured like this. But we are going to set this gate right between the two main trees. Like so. That looks good. Yeah. Place the actual gate itself in. And then I think that looks good. So we're going to bring the other walls out, and then around the other tree. So I don't want the spikes sticking too far into the actual doorway we want, because it'll cause clipping. The doorway itself is just barely bigger than a trike, so we definitely want to keep the wall not in the egress, as it were. So here we go. Our main gate area is done. And what this will do, just if you remember back when we were taming the ill-fated packies, you remember how the chalet kind of couldn't see through the wooden spike wall. Well, these wooden spike walls will provide the same effect for anything trying to wander towards our base, and so long as it's not a large creature, for the most part, we should be good to go without any more problems with intruders. But anyway, I need a little sippy sip of water, and then I'm going to farm up probably another 20, 25 walls and maybe 3 or 4 more gates. So it is time for a sped up montage bit. We will see you on the flip side. Hey, Honda basson Hey, son. Hey. And we are back. And how about that journeyman Theomia saddle, right? So I tried to keep everything in that. Just even you saw the pause there. At one point, I had to pause the game. Um, but we got. I wouldn't say lucky because medium crop plots are one of the spam rewards you get from beacons, from blue beacons. But we need medium crop plot, and I didn't want to learn it from the engram, so we got lucky to have gotten that since we are just about to be in the business to make a real base here soon. So we're going to get this gate, and this is basically I want to place gates in any direction that I normally run when I'm going places, right? So, I go down the hill, gate there. I go out the side here to go farm all of this stuff over here. gate here. So now the question is, how do I navigate these rocks? Because I want to use the rocks, since there are no dodecks, there's nothing going to be busting the rocks. They're a great kind of natural barrier, right? So I want to use the rocks as much as possible as part of my fencing, but I also don't want to leave a climbable section of rock because dinos have pretty good pathing up rocks. And this one right here, you know what? I probably am going to have to just remove this rock because it's too low to the ground. Dinos will get up and over it if they aggro. So chop the rock, and then I'm going to bring the this could work, but it's a little cheesy. I mean, that's a little bit. Even I have my standards for the no collision, and that would be a little bit cheesy to put the spike wall straight into that solid boulder. So gone is the boulder, and spike walls are coming around. So I left the whole section of farming in, basically uncut. I had to cut obviously when I stopped recording, when I paused, but that was the whole process, just at like 500% speed, right? Maybe about 45 minutes of video, 30 minutes of video. I can't remember it. I have to go back and look. But is that something you guys actually would want to see? That's the question. Now, if you've been following at all, which you probably haven't, obviously. No one knows about me, right? But if you followed all the videos, I'm only doing this because it's COVID-19 quarantine, right? And I'm bored. I don't really know how to do this well. But I have watched plenty of other guys do Let's Plays, and they tend to say they don't like to do speedy uppy bits, as Flinger Foo would say, and they try to kind of limit that kind of stuff. At the same time, there's always this struggle against this notion of, did you actually do it? Did you actually grind all that by hand? Did you, while you were off camera, spawn something in, Because, I mean, anybody who's played Ark, we know the commands. GFI, wood, 100 gives you 100 wood, right? You could do that. We all know how to do it. We've all had our creative mode type gameplays. So how do you prove that you actually did it legit, especially if you're like me, and one of the shticks of what you're doing is you're doing this on 1 by rates. How do you prove you did it on 1 by rates and it's doable on 1 by rates? So I'm not sure. I don't know how much of that do you actually leave in, and how much you'd be like, when somebody's like, you didn't do that, you'd be like, screw you. If they think you like spawned something in just so you'd have some content, right? That's a big one with a lot of people. They're going around and they're like, I'm gonna go find a thylacoleo today, and lo and behold, 10 minutes later, look at what I just happened to find. It's a 145 perfect thylacoleo just sitting in the redwoods, which we all know from playing is not common. It's hard to find high level dinos. They are a rarity, especially on the island. It takes months of gameplay to find those breedable dinos, and oftentimes it seems like YouTubers just, they're like candy all over. So it's easy to think they must have spawned that in. Or the other way to think about it is, they must have had hours of gameplay that they cut out that they didn't show, if they're playing legit. So that's the question. How much do you show to not only really accurately portray the playing experience, but also to kind of quiet the naysayers, right? Anyway, that's a whole bunch. Answer in the comments, right? For now, we are about to it. One more wall, and then the final gate coming out the side here, because this is the way I go to go get that beacon drop up the hill, or over on the peak, the point, right? You know what I'm saying. And then we are going to be on to, I think I'm very serious about Moschops taming, so the next phase is I've got to get the trike, and we will be heading over to see the swamp. I'm still a little leery of that because, let's face it, guys, our trike isn't that good. He's just really sexy, you know? And while sexiness does give a little bit of power, you know, there's a power in that looking good. Really, he's not that good. Terrible stamina, low health, no kind of melee. He's actually awful. He's just for picking berries. Anyway, I think this is going to be like that. Boom. We're done. Anything gets around that corner, they deserve to get around that corner. But we are ultimately going to line this whole ridge with X-plants. So, because the only thing at this point that can get up in our base area is going to be flying, like ichthyes and stuff. A few X-plants later, those will be dead too. So, we are pretty much secure now, guys. And it is time to mount up, right? We will see you when we are about to start the trek. But wide view, panning out. Think back to that first episode when this was just a mangy forest. We're really shipping up a base here now. I'll be right back, guys. Alright, our base is secure. We are on the Tuckmeister, and we're about to go on a perilous adventure. Not alone, though. We are bringing the Dillos with us. Believe it or not, they're our muscle. Or our muscle, were I speaking clearly. And it's nice to be able to close those gates. What a cool sound. But we are going to go and sojourn right over that way. And that is the overland path to the swamp area. Now this is the eastern swamp area from South 1. We can also go west from this location, kind of north of the quarry. Another great swamp axis over there. We'll probably go visit that later. But for now, what we're after is to get to the swamp and get some rare flowers and rare mushrooms. Those are the other two ingredients that we are missing for taming Moschops. While at the swamp, I'm thinking that with the trike plus the Dillos, killing the Titanoboas are not going to be much of a problem. I don't know, we discussed that when we were first brought up the swamp, but one of the reasons that you can't go there on foot when you're early game is it just, when you first get in render range of the swamp, it is just teeming with Titanoboas, Baryonyx, Caprasuchus, and in fact, Capros are probably the biggest danger for us right now because I do believe they can rip us off of our trike. Hopefully we see, if they're there, we see them early enough that we can hit them and knock them back and keep them away from us. But Capros are kind of the smaller variation next to the Sarcosuchus, or the Sarco, of the in-game crocodiles. And the Capros run up, they jump, they grab you, and then they just haul butt through the swamp miles away from your tams, where you then get chomped to death and you die. And it's terrible. The swamp's a nasty place, guys. But if you notice, I'm not actually riding on Tuck. Tuck has no kind of stamina. So I'm just having them follow along behind us because dinos, while you're not actually riding them, consume no stat resources. So he can just run behind me infinitely as long as I'm not on top of him. That said, we are coming over here to the lagoon on the back side, and this is very convenient that we actually didn't get a start where we have an aggressive here. There could be a Baryonyx here, and it would be, we'd have to be going on the other side, not straight through the lagoon area. Oh, another Hesperornis. There's a lot of Hesperornis in the lagoon right now. Anyway, we are coming over here, and if you look up the hill, we have a green drop. This is one of the other beacon drops that are very accessible from our location. And to get that, I think I'm going to whistle them soon, because I'm just going to walk up there or run up there on foot. Probably right here. Remember, press U. This is stop all. So we do need to be careful. So crossbows out. I don't have any bolas, but this is raptor territory. which, as we've discussed, is a little less terrifying now because they just don't seem to be doing their pounce. I hope they've taken the pounce out of the game because while it did make the raptors legitimately terrifying and annoying, I think overly so. They were almost overpowered. And I've never heard anybody do anything but complain, hey, we got us a hide set. Another set we don't spend engrams on until it's time to actually learn a higher tier set. Which in this playthrough, I'm not thinking I'm even going to learn hide, or not hide, fur. What I'm thinking of is going for ghillie to deal with heat. Ooh. I think I'm over taming packies, but ghillie for taming the heat plus the utility that the ghillie suit renders in terms of you can handle bees along with and things like that, and then the increased stealth, and then getting an otter for cold insulation, right? I think that's going to be the pairing I'm going to use and just bypass fur altogether. Later on, when we're doing caves and underwater loot crates, you get plenty of fur anyway. This is what I'm talking about. Here is a purple drop coming down right here in the lagoon. This is registers at a mid-game area, which is why you can get spinos that spawn right where that beacon's coming down. Anyway, it's time to stop stalling and let's go do this. We're going to be running through the right, which is usually just full of a bunch of dillos and phiomias and parasamethriums, all that. But titanoboas can work their way all the way up to right where we're at. Remember when I first started playing Ark, I built a base right here. Man, ooh, 95, and she wants a tintoberry to start. We'll make a mental note of her. I think we saw her a long time ago. She worked her way all the way up here. I don't know. Anyway, rain, great. I think this is also in the game coding, where as you move into new territory you've never been, it instantly brings the fog, which to my understanding is just constantly rotating around the island map. It's not something that spawns in, it's just always there. But I think the game speeds it up whenever you're going somewhere that you've never been and is dangerous. So that it starts to rain, then it gets foggy and you can't see anything and you die. I believe this. So, we're getting close, and I need to get rid of weight because the last thing we want to be is overburdened. Trikes like the blueberries. That's their preferred berry food. If they're really hungry and you get all like a 100 stack of each type of berry and you just throw them all into the inventory, the trike will start eating the blues. So this is a spot if you just want low-level parasaurs or the penisaurs. You can come and get them. Parasaurs are good. What is at me? I bet it's ants. Yep. Ants, titanomarines, or titan marines, or whatever they're called. I call them ants. You've got ground versions and you've got flying versions, drones. The soldiers, I believe, are the ground. The drones are the flying, or it's the other way around. It doesn't matter. Because I'm actually worried, guys, because you are going to see the trike. See, there it is. So yeah. These guys are mean if you're by yourself. They're not much trouble for, just watch the dillos go. They'll kill them. While my trike is here and struggles with a level 15. Oh, the 90. I got the 90. Hey! But yeah, I'm stalling. You are going to see when we get down here, the trike, even with the 800 health and the stamina, it's just not going to do very well. So I'm going to have to make use of its knockback because it's not going to be able to take bites. Whereas the dillos, guaranteed, are going to mop up for us. That is a fake rock. That is not a real rock. I could not chop the rock. What I want to do is get a campfire, but I don't know. I'm not going to worry about it. Dillo, level 5. Pop. As you make a journey like this, you want to be over careful. clear everything as you're going, get rid of hostiles, because you fake rock. You just don't want to get swamped and pun. Near the swamp, it is easy to get swarmed by hostile creatures. There's a dillo egg on the ground. I don't need it right now, though. And that is an ugly parser. So here we are. This is the swamp. And there is a titanoboa right there yeah, 2 of them. See what I'm talking about, the swarming? If we just ran right down there, we would get all of this on us. So use the knockback to our advantage. As the cheetah slugs its way on by behind us. Okay, I'm bringing this up here because I don't want it to have to keep climbing up the hill after us. Take an hour to kill. Oh, go Dillas, go! Watch this thing start getting bloody. Those Dillos are going to put in work, guys. Look at this thing. He's dying already. But look at Tuck's health. He's almost half dead already just from these few little bites. And I need to take the Dillos off. I need to turn their harvesting off. So Titanoboas are actually an excellent source of prime meat. But your metal pick is a better gatherer than Dillos. Dillos are kind of equivalent to a stone tool in terms of their harvesting efficiency. So, harvest settings. It's not. Okay. There you go, John. Disable victim collection. I should have done disable. Let's do both. Harvest settings, disable victim, and resource collection. And resource. Okay. Now they won't eat our snakes. We might have a chance of getting... So anyway, we're here. And what are we doing here? So any swamp bush plant, you see you've got the fronds and the little purple squiggles. Those are all, you know, swamp bushes. There's also the cattails over to the right by the mangroves. These are going to give us tons of rare flowers. As you can see, boom. First hit, rare flowers. And, you know, a trike can just clean up here. Same thing with when we get a Moschops. They just make tons of rare flowers. You get a Therizino going through here, you'll just... Hundreds, even on the 1x. And then you come over here to the mangroves, and you start punching these, and you will get rare mushrooms. Right there. Boom. Now, the trike is not the best for getting the rare mushrooms, but it can do the job, and I really only want just a few to get our taming process underway. So hopefully we've got 4 so far total. So now you've seen this. This is as far in as we really need to go, except right ahead of us through the... that was a whole bunch of... there's a plant species X seed. That is useful. So we can plant those in large crop plots and run some water and get some fertilizer. And they turn into basically a turret for us. Here we are. So this is the swamp. It's just constantly a battle when you're here. It is, if you don't know, the swamp was added. It was an addition. It was not part of... Oh, and we've got Sarco. Luckily, the Sarco can't pull us off the trike, but the Sarco can do a bunch of damage to my trike, so we need to be using that knockback to our benefit. Come on, trike, there you go. Sarco is dead. We've got another pretty Dillo after us. I wish I just don't have any chance. There's no way to get down and check its level. It's just going to have to die. But yeah, Dillos. Great little bodyguards. Especially back in the day, you get 5 or 6 of them. Short of a strong Rex, nothing on the island can stand up to about 5 or 6 decently leveled Dillos. Just run around and just munch everything to death. That Dillo pack could take out Carno. Not even kidding. But, so these are the mosquitoes. See how as soon as we had dead bodies, the mosquitoes came and started eating. But, oh crap. Okay, we are not staying around. That is a baryonyx. And, holy crap, it should be, that should be aggroing on us. I don't know what angels are with us right now, but that should have aggroed onto us. That is crazy. Woo! Welcome to the swamp. Oh my god. There's another. Do you see that through the woods? There's another baryonyx. We're surrounded, guys. So, we're leaving, but I would say that our first trip to the swamp. Wow, look at that. We used up some good karma today, because that could have been a nasty end to all of us. Oh, that's crazy. Look at that other baryonyx right through there. I mean, they were making a friggin'. Okay, I'm gonna stop stumbling over my words, but I hope you can understand that that was pretty frightening. That could have gone terribly for us. Achatina, we will get one of those, several of those later when we can make sweet veggie cakes, because that is the pickiest snail in the world. They only eat cake. And then they produce lots of cementing paste for us. Until then, we're going to make use of beaver dams. We're done with the swamp. Goodbye, swamp. I'm going to get these guys back to base. And then we're going out Moschops taming. We've got everything we need. So, I think the only thing that we need to do now is to take out our Ichthyornis and get a good stack of cooked prime meat, and we will be ready to go. I want to get at least 3 or 4 Moschops today, including the highest level one we can find in the area, which is so far the highest I've seen is that 95 female. But anyway, guys, we will see you right back. Alright, so we got everybody back to base safely, thankfully, and we have the jerk out, and if you remember, I showed you that they can produce the golden sparkles around any small game that they kill. So that's all we've been doing is out, just sending the jerk to go kill dodos and listros and such and get us these sparkle bits to get us prime meat so we can cook it up. And we've just about got a good solid stack, enough that I'll feel comfortable going to so see there we're doing pretty good. I'm gonna maybe get a few more, and that's pretty much gonna be the last piece of the puzzle, so that in the next episode we are going to get our why didn't I pick that up the first time? Get our Moschops farm going. Now, there's a lot of ways to go for getting tier 4 kibble, any kibble. You know, some people don't even worry with kibble until they can go straight after UDs now, because, you know, all kibble is downwardly mobile, meaning you just get the extraordinary kibble, the tier 6, and it'll do everything every lower tier will do. I don't like playing like that, because then you need just so many UDs. They're big, and you know, then you have to make so much of that kibble if you're going to be doing everything with that one kibble. Whereas I find it's not only more fun, I mean, like, why would you play Ark to just have one dino in your kibble farm, right? I don't know, it just seems like, remember, I'm kind of hot and cold on the change where they changed the old kibble system back when you needed all the dinos. You know, each dino had a specific other dino's egg that they wanted for their personal kibble, right? So the old system, if it was overly cumbersome, the new system is overly simple. And it is that. So there, you know, the positive, it is simple, but I don't know, it basically makes a lot of the game that very, it's just not very integrated, I guess you would say. You know, the old way, as cumbersome as it was, felt as if there was a need for everything. You know, each of the dinos had an actual preference for another dino. You know, this so we're killing Devilsaur here anyway. As we're going along, we're going to need a bunch of raw meat, upwards of 1,000 to 2,000, and we will show that um, soon. Probably, you know, it's already at 45 minutes on a worth of recording, likely, so I'm going to have to cut this off soon. It's already gone longer than any other episode we've had so far. But yeah, we're gathering raw meat as we're going, and I've almost got enough of the prime meat cooked up for what we're going to be doing next episode. And I know oftentimes I'm talking off the cuff about what I'm going to be doing next episode, and sometimes as I come out through the footage on the back end during edit, I realize, hey, we got to cut this now, or I'm going to have a 1 hour, 2 hour episode, and just trying to keep it around the 30-minute mark. Here, 45, 46 minutes. But yeah, I'm gonna keep working the Ichthyornis and get a little bit more prime meat cooked up, and we'll see you back at base and close this one out. Next episode, we will be taming Moschops, and we will be doing our speed leveling, and then we will finally be set to truly move on into the next phase of gameplay. See you back at base, guys. And we are indeed back at base with a decent sized stack of cooked prime meat. So that means that we are one ingredient shy of being ready for tomorrow. But we won't do that until tomorrow. Anyway, guys, it has been a roller coaster today, from what I thought was going to be simple, just putting up some spike walls around the base, to going all the way to the swamp and almost getting deaded. I think we will see you back, and it's going to be a great taming episode next time. Later.